Hello everyone, Eight's in the outside office tonight. It's a beautiful evening and it's not too hot and not too cold, and I thought I'll come outside. So what have we been doing? Well, we've been busy with all sorts, but I thought I'd do a quick blog now because I need a bit of advice really. It's a bit of David Brain advice. Ian's been here this week and we've got the old 885 in. One of our favourite tractors really, but we've had a problem with the clutch slipping, which I want to get sorted out, and one or two issues we found on the way, and then the 1212. I've got a fairly tidy 1212, David Brain 1212, and I need a bit of advice on that. So I'll show you the tractors first, and then maybe you can tell me what I want to do or what I need to do. So we'll go to the tractors now. So this is my David Brain 885. As you can see, it's starting to catch a bit of rust on it now. So it is time to give it a bit of a refurb. But what's brought it on was the clutch was slipping. So we had to get the clutch out, and I thought the clutch was worn right out, but in actual fact, the clutch is nowhere near worn out. And the power takeoff clutch is no different to this one, but it definitely slips. And the most annoying thing is that the clutch pedal, you have to bring it up so high to actually change it. I tried to adjust it down a bit, and it slips even more. So we need to get to the bottom of that. While we were in there was a noise in the gearbox, and we got a bearing gone. So the bearing is on the end of that shaft, and we've taken that off, and I've got a new one on its way. That's the easy bit. Getting to it was a lot of stripping down. So we've had to get the gearbox out, you've got to take the final drives off, you've got to take all the power takeoff housing off, and you've really got to get it back down to very little. The good news is that because it's so far stripped down now, we can go through it and respray it and get it looking like it should be. One or two problems. The biggest one, or we don't know quite how to get over it yet, is that is the diff lock spring. And they'll say to you, if you want to take the half shaft out, you have to lock the diff lock pedal down, which is easy said, but you can't get that out with that locked in. So now we've got to get that spring compressed and back in there. And when it goes back in, that spring's got to be compressed with the pedal on it so that we can get the half shaft in. So I'm open to suggestions how we do it. I've got an idea, but it's I'd rather somebody came and said, this is what you do. We think we can find a way, but nobody's told me an easy way. So that's where the issue is with this tractor. It's a cracking tractor though. It's one I'd happily spend a lot of money on this because it's so good. It was an ex-Timmy Mitchell one, which I bought off him for very little money really, and it's a tractor I would never sell. It's just so handy and good. But when you've got to get in to do something to it, my God. Anyway, we know how to take a gearbox out of David Brain now. So I think that's all I can tell you about this one. So we'll on to the next one. Okay, so that's the 885. It's as you can see, it's a cracking little tractor, and when it's sorted out, it's I don't know why it wasn't a better seller than it was. I'd really put that one, much as I hate to say it, I'd put that against the 3000. It's such a nice little tractor to drive. Pull a 3/4 plough easily. It's always been my choice for the ploughing matches. I might try a Ford this time, but we'll see. So that's the 885, and I'll take you now and see the 1212 and tell you what we need to find out about that. So this is the David Brain 1212. I've had this one 3 or 4 years now. Never really used it a lot because when I first bought it, the brakes stuck on. We sorted that out, and then the gears, which are, when they're working right, are superb, but it wouldn't change gear properly. You couldn't get up into more than third gear, so you couldn't get top gear on it. And when you changed up, it would actually change back down before it would eventually come back up to third. So via people on Facebook or YouTube, somebody suggested there's a filter underneath, which I don't know if I can show you. Anyway, it's under there somewhere. And they suggested that could be blocked. So we took it out and drained the oil out, took the filter out, and it was seriously blocked. I don't know if any oil got through it. So we've done all that, and the hydraulics are definitely improved. When we are driving it, you can get up to top gear now. It doesn't change up as smoothly as I'm used to with a 1212. In fact, if you're going downhill with it, it'll change gear okay. Coming back up, it doesn't want to know really. It will come up, but not much, not as good as it should be. So again, I'm asking people that have got these tractors if you've got any ideas. It's a really good drivable tractor when it's done, and we do want to use this one. So the only problem I've got with it, apart from that gearbox, is we've got a joint on the front here, front of the steering, which has got a lot of play in it. So you tend to wave about a bit now, but that's easy to do. But the loader's old David Brown loader. It's got a 2-way ram on the front, and I've got a better loader I can put on it, but I really don't want a loader on a 1212 because the gearbox goes back to neutral and you put your foot on the clutch. It goes back to the low gear, I should say. Anyway, apart from that, the tractor's quite tidy. Cab's pretty good. It's got everything on it. It's got all its lights. They're not working, but they're there. And I'm quite looking forward to giving this a bit of a spruce up and using it, making use of it. A little bit of rust here where they all go, but the rest of it's solid and it's not gone through to the mudguard, so I think we can save that. So there she is, the David Brown. We're into David Browns at the moment. Not easy to work on, but lovely tractors to use. Okay. So there you go, that's the David Brown. Ian was here earlier on, and we did a little run up and down the drive to show what it was doing, but it doesn't really show. You can see it'll drive up and down in a minute. I'll show you that, and you can see how it takes off and does all it should when you're going down that hill, but when he turned at the bottom and come back up, it just wouldn't come up through those gears. So there's something a bit odd about it, and I'd like to get to the bottom of it. I hope to God you don't have to get too far into that gearbox, but we're never going to learn unless we do it. So I have got a scrap 1212 which I bought a long time ago, so we've got something we could play with and we can get into it quite easy to look. So we could go in that way first and see what's what. And I've got I've got two 1412s. One is all working, and the other one, the clutch has gone on that one. And it's got a Q cab on, so really easy one to do that is. I think you want a mole or something to go into it. Anyway, have a look at this tractor running, and then you can tell me what you think. So there you are, that's the 1212 as it runs. Nice tractor really, but we've got to get to the bottom of that, and then we can do something with it. It's a fast tractor, or fairly fast tractor. It's got a nice cab on it. Not everybody's like him, but there's plenty of room in there, and you can do what you want. Good tractor for a road run, because at least you'll be dry in there, and it's big enough you could invite all your mates in if you're feeling sorry for them. So that's it. That's my tractor news for now. Still making plans for the rally. I'm quite excited about how things are progressing there. We're still looking for help, but we're not going to have any problem getting it, I don't think. So it's going to be good. We've got the tractor pulling sort of sorted out now. We know where that's going and how we're going to run it, and that's good. And we're going to do the Hungarian tug of war, which I think that'll be interesting. They're up for having a go at that. And this week I had requests to do lawnmower racing, and I've seen it before and thought it'd be good fun. Thought, oh, it's something we could do in the small ring. No, we need more space than that. So I think I've got to go and look at the site. I think I can find space for it. There's some good films on this lawnmower racing, and I will, if I can filch it in a minute, I don't know how to get the film, but I can film it on the screen, so it should be enough to see. And you tell me what you think. I think it'll be very popular. So we'll have a look at that, and that'll do for now. That's just a nice little short one for you. So I'll do that. See you in a minute.
A little bit of contact there. It does happen. Never intentional.
So that's the lot. I'm just going to ring my mate Colin up. He's the chap that did the 3,000 up and sold it last year, and then bought a 35 off me and sold that, and sold his 135. So he's really in gear at the moment. 86 and still going strong. He'll be 87 in a minute. So got to encourage him, keep him going. He's had a bit of a blow in the last 10 days because unfortunately he ran his dog over, and he thinks the world of his little Twinkie, and I really thought he'd killed it, but he hadn't. But it was in the vets, and he was very upset about it because it's his mate, and it's the dog. It's got to be tough. It's a Jack Russell, but the dog had done something quite severe to its stomach and its liver, and something to its hip, and I thought there's no way that dog's going to make that, but I couldn't say that to Colin, and Colin had the belief. So the dog's been in the vets, and the dog's had the operation on the stomach. I don't think you have to operate on the liver, that's self-repairing, but and now it's had another operation on its hip, and as far as I'm aware, the dog's out, and Colin's obviously looking after it, but I'm really pleased it survived. So I'll give Colin a ring, see how Twinkie is, and I'll catch up with you directly. Cheers.